Oh, that's loud. Hello. It's, we're live. Make sure it mutes. Oh, hey John. How's it going? All that other stuff. So here we are, live stream after what can I say is a day of turmoil. Look at that. You can see at the top right on my screen, safety rating is now B. He says bitterly. I'll tell you what, I'll quickly show you guys how this went down. This is how I dropped from S rank a safety rating to B rank a safety rating. Here we go. So this is what was happening. I was in a race, in the final lap of the race, just chasing up second place, getting on his slipstream, sat on the outside of him, braked really early. He braked really early, so I had to brake to avoid hitting him. Had these two guys come either side of me, took a massive knock from this guy, and then it made me hit 3 there, which meant there's my 4-second penalty, which I was really pleased about, to get just a direct 4-second penalty. As this guy's weaving all over the place, and then quite honestly I don't even know what went wrong here, where basically brake, everyone smashes into each other in front of me, I save clear of it, and I get another second penalty, and it was that 5-second penalty that dropped me from S rank safety to B rank, and I've been trying to claw my way out of there ever since, but it is a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. So so that's the challenge for tonight, is getting our rank back up to S rank. So we've got the joy of that to look forward to. So I've been doing today in Monza, so the races that are in at the moment, we have, oh, why is that being weird? Okay, in race entry is these 3 races at the minute. So I've been taking part in race A, which is Monza, GT4 cars, but it's only the ones with the FF drivetrain. So I've been driving around in a car on that. So I'm not going to carry on with that, because quite honestly that's what destroyed, and I've just, it's one of those moments where I'm going to move to circuit to Barcelona. So I've never raced this track at all, even before the stream, even as a warm-up. So you're going to see this whole process start to end of learning a track and then trying to race it. So before I do anything, I need to learn the track, and I always do that by doing what is the circuit experience, which sort of breaks the track up into its individual sections and just gives you, doesn't get you like super fast to be able to beat everyone, but it can get you at a pace where you're at least competitive. So I've never done, you see I've cleared a few before. These are the ones that we've done in the past, so you can see where I did a Suzuka, I did it here, a Dragon Trail, Autodrome, Monza, Red Bull Ring, as I was messing around with that one earlier, getting ready for the race on Wednesday at the Red Bull Ring. So I've already done a bit of practice on that, but the one we're looking for is Barcelona, which I am just being a bit of a spaz and not seeing. There it is, Barcelona. So we're going to go through each of the sections one by one. Watch the little video. That sort of gives us a few hints about how to take certain turns. Again, it's not the it doesn't give you the fastest line through everything, but it just gives you a race, gives you an idea of how to take some of the turns, and at least at a way that's competitive, and then you can take that to your own car and your own, you know, whichever car we want to choose, because we're pretty free to choose which car we want as we go into this one. But let's watch the instructional video and see if we can work out the first section. So I'm completely new to it. I've never raced this track before, so I need to go through this process. I'll turn these up whilst I watch these. Okay.
For the first S, start braking using the signal on the left side of the track as your cue. Set your apex on the small curbstones on the inside to clear turns 1 and 2. At turn 3, which wraps around to the right, Keep a centre line at partial throttle. Maintain your steering angle constant as you turn. Start accelerating from where you see the second orange wall on the far end.
I think I got it. Right, okay. See if we can do that then. We've got to beat a 32-second to run this section, okay? So we'll try it. See if we can do it straight away. If not, we'll just keep trying it until we get it right. I think my chair's in the most comfortable position, so I'll reposition myself shortly. So we'll brake, brake, brake. Come off the accelerator, turn. Oh, and we've already messed up. Already missed that, judged that one completely. I'm going to readjust my chair. I'm not going to blame that on the chair, that was completely my fault. But I'll turn on the wheel as well, so you guys can see what's going on. I'll try not to knock it because it's kind of on the thing that's got my mic on it. So we'll try not to knock it, but we'll try this again. No game sound at all. Is it there? Because I can see it's bouncing up, but it's just really low on mine, so I might turn it up a bit. How's that, John? Oh, wasn't paying attention. Oh, this car's got a bit of oversteer to it. Don't really drive the Lambo. It's not one of my favourites. I know it's one you can get really fast if you can get the Lambo right, but don't think we've done this here. But at least we've set down a marker for ourselves. Oh, we have. We've done that in under 32 seconds. Soft is fine. I can do soft. I can do soft. That's not a problem. Alright, so we've done the first section. So we're going to move to the second one. I think it's because I've turned it down in game. So we're going to move to the second section and watch the quick video. So I'll spruce it up on the stream and we'll see what this guy says.
For turn 4, start braking around where you pass the third white line on the left side of the track. Stay on the inside as you turn and start to open the throttle from around where you start seeing the marshal's post on the far side of the corner. The exit is not visible, so you will need to learn the proper timing for hitting the throttle, specific to each car model. Turn 5 is a hard left on a downhill slope. Be careful not to let the rear end slip out. Set your apex far into the corner. Once you are past turn 6, get your car on the right and brake immediately to enter turn 7. On turn 8, follow along the narrow curbstones as you exit. Turn 9 is on an ascent with a reversed bank, and the exit will not be visible, but it is important to gain exit speed here for the back straight which follows. Apply a short brake to change the direction of your car, then set your apex far into the corner to reduce the effect of the incline.
We can give it a go, can't we? Right. Bit of a big section, but let's go for it. Okay, we really missed the braking marker there, but like I said, we'll lay down a marker with our first attempt. Oh, this car is very oversteery. I don't like the Lambo Hurricane at all. Like, never have been a fan of it. I've never drove it in real life, obviously, but on any game I've played it on, it's always just been awkward. A heavy car. You can see it here, just not getting hold of this. We will get it right though. Bit of practice and we'll be away. Okay, just take that nice and easy. We're setting a really slow time here, but we're just, again, just trying to set a marker, get through cleanly, then we'll try and improve it as we go from there. Probably could have gone down to second there. Would have been a bit nicer for us. Don't know if we needed to brake on that turn. Feels like we did. Maybe just not as much as that. And you can tell we're a little bit behind here. You know what, we actually did it in time. It didn't feel clean at all. But we'll move to the next section. Like I said, this is just warming us up, getting us just breaking up different parts of the tracks, just so we can run again, what won't be a fast line, won't be like a competitive line, but at least it's just a starting point. And I always use this as a starting point. So we're just gonna watch the video for the third section, if I can get to it. There we go.
For turn 10, start braking between the 150 metre and 100 metre marker boards. Once past the apex, exit in a linear line. Take a middle line to clear turn 11, then enter turn 12. Again, take a middle line to go around the corner, then get on the inside in the small curbstones on the inside to make your exit. Turns 13 to 15 are a series of low-speed 90-degree corners. Use the full width of the road to keep your bottom speed up. For the final corner, trace a proper out-in-out line.
Okie dokie. Final section then, let's give this a go. Just going to brake into this one. Quite a hard hairpin. Light braking on here. So you try and... Oh, completely misjudged that turn. Definitely not the car that I'm going to use for when we get into racing. But like I said, just to acclimatise us to the lap itself. And we did it. Again, that's not... It didn't feel like I did that cleanly at all, but apparently it's in the time. So now we just got to do it as an overall lap. So I keep forgetting to put the wheel back on. Let's put that back on for you guys. And we'll change the event and do the lap attack. So we just got to aim for a good lap time. Put it all together. This is the start of us getting familiar with the track. So we're just going to use the markers that the game has put out for us. So anytime you see two cones on the side of the road like there, usually means that you're entering a braking zone. Again, they kind of just put it in a rough place for you, so you kind of got to work out the most ideal place for you and the car that you're using specifically. But and we're coming out. Maybe accelerated a little bit too late coming out of there, but like I said, we're still really early days on this track. A lot of oversteer there, had to keep it under control before coming off onto throttle. And again, oversteers a lot this car, so we're just going to take it nice and easy, making sure we're getting around turns before we try and accelerate out, and just bringing our speed down nicely so we know when we're coming in. So we took that a bit too much, and again, need to bear in mind coming into second gear onto that one if I need to do this lap again. And we drifted a little wide there, but we held it together. Alright. And then we're just going to... We've drifted very wide here. Not a good line through there at all. But again, I thought it's a first lap. And again, we're just mainly setting down a marker. We're going to have a lot of work ahead of us before we put ourselves onto the racetrack. But quite honestly, today is just about getting the SR up. I don't care about the DR at all. So even if it comes to, I'll sit at the back of the race and make sure I don't crash into anybody, because I need that SR to be up for Wednesday. DR is DR, and you know it's nice to have that higher. So we're quite a way behind there. Quite a way behind. So we're going to try that again and hopefully do a bit cleaner. Each time we do it, we should do a little bit better as we get to learn the corners a bit better. Come into turn 1 now. So brake, brake, brake. Go right down through. There we go. We've got a much better line through that one that time. And we're going to brake, brake just through here. Bring our speed down until we see the box at the end, which we just seen. And then we start accelerating, and should give us enough to get out. Brake, brake, really tight. Go down to second gear, and we're coming to the uphill section again shortly. So we've got to remember to drop down to second, like I didn't last time. So it's this one here. We've got to drop to 2. Well, we hadn't it in the past, so we get a nice kick when we put our foot down. There we go. And this is basically all you do. How you whittle down time is you learn from each lap you do. Notice where you're cutting down time. Then when you're at a point where you don't think you can improve anymore, you watch and see what other people do who are doing better than you, and see if you can improve. So we took that again, not fantastic. I'm going to feed the brake a little bit there. And again, missing that one completely. You need to be aware of that one. It's really messing up our lap time. And again, accelerating too early out of there. And what a horrible lap. But still within the time. Still a gold lap apparently. So feels like... Let all this ring through. Feels like that's very generous, that gold. That wasn't a good lap at all. So let's now go and do this in a car which more suits our style of driving. So now we've got the gold in all the sections. Just had a little intro to the lap itself. We get a free car if we get all the golds in a lap, so it's worth doing anyway. As you can see, we've got a GT car there, Nissan GT car, which I probably want, and we got the Mini. So we'll pop into the practice session for the race itself and see if we can set some good times. And let's see, first of all, so we know what we're up against. So we're looking at best times here are sort of 1:43 to 1:44. A lot of best times being set in the R8, mid-rear car, NSX, Citroen GT, Lancer. So none of these cars I've actually driven before. So we'll go have a little look, see if we own any of these before we join. And then, yeah, we'll go from there, because it's a very windy track, so I assume a mid-rear car probably would be quite good. But we will have a look and see what we've got. So we've got a lot of GT3 cars. We saw the NSX was one of them. So we do have that one which you could run in, the R8. All mid-rear cars by the looks of it. The WRX I saw on there, so that's a front rear, so that's possible one that we could run with. I'll have to check the list again. But yeah, we'll have a look and see, go back in and just see if the WRX was on there, on that list. So, oh no, I don't. It's the NSX. So we've got a Lancer Evo, but not the WRX. So R8 GT458 Italia. So looks like we might have to go with something unfamiliar. Let's see how we get on. I could try the Audi up. I've used it on a different track, and I have to admit I wasn't a big fan of it. So always the hardest choices. Lancer Evo was one of them, wasn't it? Lancer Evo. Let's have a quick look again. Lancer Evo, yeah, that's on there. Okay, well, we are gonna download that replay in case it gets knocked off the board, but it can be done in a 144. So let's give that one a go. It's a front rear. I was trying to find one that had a front rear, a drivetrain, which we've got. And let's go in and let's see what we can do with just this. Oh, I've accidentally entered the race. I didn't want to end the race. I just wanted to go to practice. So let's just cancel that entry and just go to the time trial itself. And we are again going in with the Lancer. So 144 was the, top 10 in the world. Obviously, I'm not aiming for 144. Normally, if I can get myself within a few seconds of it, then I'm doing all right. But I imagine we're going to start well off it and slowly grind down to it. So let's get out there and just start getting in some laps and just see if this feels a little bit better for us than the Hurricane that we were using before. So before I carry on, I am going to turn off the traction control because I need to get used to it without the TCS. So let's get that off. And then we'll leave the brake balance as it is for now, but we might change it as we go through. So we'll set a lap coming into turn 1, and we'll just do some follow the cones sort of turnings as we come in here. A little bit oversteer there till the traction control's off, so you have to be very aware not to push too hard with this car. And we'll come around now. Again, probably could have accelerated a little earlier. We'll find our reference markers as we kind of, mostly what I do when I'm practicing laps is I kind of focus on one section at a time and then move to the next section as opposed to try and do everything in one go. So we're going to drop down here, and remember we're going to drop to 2. Might be a bit different in this car, but probably be the... Oh, no. Definitely shouldn't have dropped to 2. And we've got a penalty for the barrier collision, so we're just going to retry. Definitely don't drop to 2 that one. We'll need to stay in 3 due to the kick that we're getting from the oversteer. So let's just get through this chicane. And let's get ourselves away. Let's see if we can put in a clean lap. Come through to turn 1 now, and trail brake a little bit through this. And again, just getting on that accelerator a little bit too early, which is making my rear wheels kick out, so I just need to be aware of that with this car. We are liable for... cranking out. So we're just going to get a little bit of oversteer coming in, feel the rear end kicking out as I was coming to the end of that turn. And took that one a bit better than we had done in our previous goes, but let's see if we can now this one. We're not going to go to 2 like we did last time, just because we saw what that did to our oversteer. Let's just do that straight from 3, which actually feels alright in this car. Oh, accelerated a little early on that one, but not too bad. A little bit late on the braking there. Not really taken that turn well yet, so Hopefully we'll be able to do so soon. And again, this turn catches me out every time. We will get it right though, eventually. Those curbs have a bit of a kick to them. And again, accelerating a little bit too early out of the turn. Hitting the barrier again. And let's just retry, because that is not a lap worth keeping. Let's just get through here. And let's try this one again. See if we can actually get a lap in. Be nice. I don't feel like we can get acclimatized to this track in time of, you know, to do a decent SR grind. Then we might go to Monza, but quite honestly, like I said, when it comes to an SR grind, I'm not really bothered about winning or my road position. I'm most bothered about just making sure I don't hit into anybody. So I'm going to make sure I'm competent before we go in, but certainly not looking to be flying at the lap times. Whereas the lap time I got at Monza is actually pretty good. It's earned me quite a few pole positions. That's why I was driving it quite a lot. And I've had some really good races. And unfortunately, I just had one really bad race where, like I said, we had that accident. Upon review, I don't really know what else I could have... Oh, for God's sake. Don't know what else I could have done. So this one's giving me a lot of spin out. I'm trying to push it out of some corners. We are going to try and press on though. Again, not a great lap time, we know that, but just need to get used to some of these corners and where we're accelerating. But this is this course has a lot of turns, so it's going to take a bit of getting used to for someone who, as I said, not really familiar with the track at all. As we come through, trying to keep this in nice and tight without, see, almost kicked out there, but had to come off the accelerator a little bit. And have we for the first time made that turn right? We have. Trying to use the full length of the track if we can, but I am conscious this is just not the fastest way of taking all this. However, we have come through with the lap, albeit what, 14 seconds behind the leaders. So we have some grinding down that needs to be done. At least we've got a ghost car that we can race against now, and push us to do it better. Turned out a little early there. Hit the apex a little earlier than I would like. Again, probably not. Again, not the neatest through that. Probably shouldn't have accelerated so much at the start. Then I could have just got through all right. But here's what it is. So somehow I managed to run a slower lap than last time, even though I'm not just trying best not to spin out or anything. So that's where we come off the track before. Maybe didn't need to brake there, so we'll work on that section. So we are a good 6 seconds in front, but you know, in terms of the overall times, and again, we have made this turn okay. There we go. I'm getting a bit better. So we knocked off a good 6 seconds there. So we're still about 8 seconds behind what the top people are doing. Work in progress. We've got a slightly faster ghost to race against. And now I took that section really badly last time, so took that a little neater this time. So we coast around here until we see the second orange, and then we accelerate. Maybe it's the first orange. Yeah, we'll try it next time when we see the first orange bit. Brake into here, then we accelerate again when we see the watchtower in the background. There we see the watchtower, and we go. Oh, broke really too slow into that one. We still are improving. Again, we did brake there, but nowhere near as harshly as we did last time, so making a bit more better time. Almost lost it there, a little bit oversteer. Had that last time through that corner, we need to be aware of it as we drift. A Tokyo drift our way through this last section, trying to keep him above the time with. So we are getting slightly better, but still a 151.8, still well off where we want to be. Sort of 147, 148, and we're kind of in the realm where I normally operate at, a few seconds behind the best in the world. Oh, I got through that much better last time, you see that? And we'll accelerate on the first one this time, see if we make it. Drifting wide, we're on tarmac still, so not the end of the world. Perhaps we can be a little bit more liberal with ourselves, knowing there's tarmac on the left of us there. Oh, accelerated a bit too soon to get through there, and drifted off. And didn't brake enough on this one, so we're playing catch up, 2 seconds behind this time. So let's see where we can really push ourselves and make gains on our normal line. So again, I'm braking there when perhaps I just need to come off the accelerator and coast it round until I'm at the right speed. There's the one we spun out before a few times on, but we won't do it this time again. Okay, a little bit too aggressive into that one. And probably not aggressive enough into this one. We are getting better and better at that last turn as well, but certainly not a good lap there, so let's go again. So brake, 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 trail brake through, and see if we can get on that accelerator nice and early this time. Almost lost it there, but kept it under control with a bit of counter steer. So I feel like we're taking a few of these turns a bit better now, as we start to acclimatise a little bit better to the track itself. A little bit slow through here maybe, but so we're not going to brake. We almost did. We put a little bit of brake on, but not that much. We got through there a bit nicely as well. Having a very good lap here. Maybe a bit slow through this one again. Oh dear, we kicked out. Pushed on the accelerator too hard, and the lack of traction control kicked us out, so we've lost that lap, even though we were setting a pretty good time there. Again, always skidding out on this one. Need to brake a little earlier before going into here. Okay, new lap, new face. Let's do it. See if we can beat our 151.8, which feels very achievable. I can just keep consistent. So try to break through here and get. Let's see if we can get on it. Oh, a little bit too early on the accelerator, but this car is a bit of a monster. Like once you know it's there, if you put down the accelerator, you're having to fight it quite a lot. Which, in terms of trying to boost my safety ratings, probably not the most promising sign. Well, the car that's kicking out at me when I try and push it too hard, you know. There's some cars that work for you, and just some cars that don't, you know. So, might even try a switch car, see if we can get a better time than what we're putting in this. Perhaps try one of the mid-rear cars or something, see if they feel a bit better for us. Oh, took that turn awfully, probably going to get a track penalty there. Surely that's not the correct way of taking that turn. Okay, apparently didn't get a track penalty, so whatever. So we a little bit of a better one, but we're gonna exit there, see what our best time was, possible time was, and see if we can beat it in a different car. Because I'm not feeling too great about my consistency in the Lancer Evo. So you can see there, best 9 I could have got is a 149.7. Had a strong, like, my best sections altogether. Which, you remember that lap 5 that we did, which like really went really well actually. You can see those first 2 sections really did an improvement, but obviously had that spin out to lose that lap. So let's switch car. Is there a way to do that up here? Or can we? No, we'll probably have to fully exit. And if we do feel like it's you know, it's too risky for us to do this, I will go back to Monza and see what we can do with that one. So what have we got? Again, let's have a look at those top lap times. So a lot of R8s, 458 Italia and GTN Citroen and the NSX. So maybe we should go with the one that's set in the most times, which I believe was the R8. So let's give it a go. I've driven the R8 before. Mid-rear cars have never been my most favoured car to drive. Sometimes you've got to do some weird stuff to get the best time out of them. But we'll give it a go, see if we can beat our time. And if not, like I said, I'll probably wind it to Monza and we'll do in there and do some SR grinding, because that's ultimately the aim of this stream. And that's what we need to be doing before the end of it. So let's give this car a go, the Audi R8. So Audi R8 has mid-rear, so we'll see how that feels. Might change the brake balance if it feels a bit too understeery, oversteery in certain places. But let's just see how we get on with it first. Comparatively to what we were racing last. We probably have the TCS. No, the TCS is off. That's good. So brake, brake, brake. And we took that quite nicely there. Wait until we see the orange barrier, then we can accelerate it out. Feel like I'm bit more suited to this car maybe. Might be a little bit late accelerating out through that one, but definitely feel a bit more in control of this car than we did in the Evo we were racing last. Again, we're braking there when we shouldn't be. Force a habit, we just see a blind turn coming up and we think we need to accelerate when we just need to coast it, so definitely some lost time there. But automatically, already I feel a lot more comfortable in this car than, as I said. Let's swing ourselves around and see if we can get on accelerator nice and early. And make sure we can get this turn right for a change. Not quite right, but not bad. Not as bad as we've taken it before. Now we know we can cut that corner quite a bit because we did it before and we didn't get any punishment on the track limit. So I imagine if we watch the best laps time, that's what we're going to see as we now come through. And let's see. Still not beating our best that we set, 151.6, but definitely feel a lot more in control, which is a big part of it really. So let's see if we can push ourselves a bit more. Now we've got a ghost car to race against. Oh, lost a little bit of grip there, but managed to keep it under control. Without actually losing too much time either. A little bit late on the acceleration there, you can see I hit that a bit better last time. So you can see, remember I said last time I got an accelerator a little late, you can see definitely did because I accelerated a bit better that time. Definitely need to make sure we're not hitting that turn too early, and maybe in this car we do need to go down too. And again, I did brake a little bit because it's force a habit and I feel like I should, but not as bad as last time, so definitely you can see the time increasing there. Need to work that corner out and make sure that we're getting that right. Let's just drop down to first, see if we can get this one nice. Oh, caught a little bit of the stone there, but it's not a place where you can lose that much time because you're going straight into another turn. And let's see if we can get this right nice. And you can, I took this section much nicer last time. So, still not beating that 151.3, but as I said, feeling in general a lot more stable in the Audi than I was in the Evo. Again, not accelerating grey out there, we can get better on that one. Definitely a few turns that we need to get much better at. And this one we didn't brake, which is that the right thing to do? It feels like it is. Got through there a bit quicker. A little bit slow on that last corner there, but still our best lap so far, 150.6. I think we can still do better though. Grind that time down a bit more. So if we can get it in the 148 range, and I think we're kind of in our usual expected range. And at least won't be, if we go into a race, won't be qualifying in last place. A little bit late on the accelerator here because I went in there a little aggressively, but got accelerating. It still feels like we can do it a bit earlier on that one. So we're not really making any big leaps in our time here, which makes me think we're getting to the point where we need to start looking at what other people are doing. So we should have dropped a second there. You can see the time lost, and didn't take that so well this time. You can see a Ghost Rob going in front, and we actually incur a track penalty, which I'm not actually sure what we got that for, but okay. Ooh, catching the grass there, and that is the end of that. Let's so we've got this penalty, so we're going to have a dead lap. It's going to be no use to us. So might as well try and push some of the corners, because we're not going to be able to set a good lap time here anyway. So let's push back some of the braking zones we've been doing and see what feels right. So we're going to push back this one a little bit. So we're just going to go a few yards after and see if we still make the turn. If so, we can say, okay, well, the braking zone might be a little bit generous for that car, for this car on that turn, as we completely miss it there. We'll brake a bit later here as well. So we can, on those two turns, definitely brake a bit later than what we have been doing. And we'll brake a bit. Now I know this one's probably a one where we shouldn't be braking late, because although it does get us deep and we're hitting the apex really late, which means we're getting a lot of exit speed, so perhaps we should be. So that one definitely feels like you want to be braking at the right time. So we'll see if we can remember that. This one's the one that we don't brake at. We just bring down the acceleration, hit that apex in the middle, and see if we can. Well, it's starting to feel like maybe braking might be the right answer. So there's our penalty served. So now we can, when we come around to the next lap, we can focus on truly trying to push the time. Okay, so we're going to push now for a new lap. So let's see how we get on. So 153 one there, not a very exciting lap, but we're just doing some experiments. So we can brake a little bit later on this turn, so we'll do that again. So we've taken that pretty well so far. We're going to brake a little bit later on this one. This one we're going to brake normally. And the next one we're going to brake normally as well. Again, didn't drop to second when we should have, but Now this one we're not going to break through. Remember, we're just going to come off the accelerator, come on the inside, make sure we've got that line before we push down on the accelerator, which again feels like we can take that a bit tidier. We'll see what's happening on the best lap times when we look at that one again. So we'll trail brake a little bit through here, and we'll see if we can get our line before we accelerate out. We'll see if we can get this right this time. As we push through now and see what time we finish with here. At 1:49, so we've got down below the 150 barrier. So definitely making progress, really good to see. Readjusting some of the braking zones, you can see he's had a bit of an impact on the lap time. We found an extra second just by readjusting the braking zones a little bit. Not really doing anything drastic, but we're now really starting to get used to the track a little bit. A little bit late on the accelerator there. Had my marker and just didn't respond to it. So let's just keep going and see if we can find somewhere else in this lap we can push. As we come into that turn a bit awfully, but we get a really deep line in, which gives a lot of exit speed, but with not that much exit speed. And that was awful, and hopefully I don't get a track penalty for that one. God damn it. I think we're going to quit out this session. There's no point me literally ruin this lap and the next lap. So let's see what our best time is with all these laps combined together. And maybe take some time to look at what some of the best lap timers are doing and see if we can change what we're doing slightly. So all things considered, we could have got a 1:49.5. We got a 1:49.6, so there's an extra tenth that we can gain from just being more consistent on the laps, as you can see there, from the best time at the 1:49.5 at the bottom. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go look at the ranking board at the top 10 stars, and we'll look at we'll take a look at this Spaniard here. He ran a 1:44.26, and let's just have a watch back and see what he does. And see if we can take, not everything he does, because obviously some of these stuff, you know, he does is going to be, if we try this every lap, we're going to spin off in a race. So something he did there already was, he's obviously done something to get a little bit of extra speed. You saw when he was off the track. So let's just first of all, we don't need that up. Let's get what he's actually doing with his feet and his controls up so we can see that. So full acceleration down, and as we worked out, you can brake a little later here. Let's see how much later he brakes. So not that much later, probably around about the same pace as us. He does drop to second though, and quickly up to third. So you can see where he's making so much more time. Much more later on the braking on that one. There's actually a white line there which you can possibly use as a marker on the road, about 10 meters behind the double line cones. He also comes on a little bit later than what the cones are on that, but every time I've tried that I've definitely run a bit wide. Let's see how he takes this one. Again, brakes as he's coming up to the curbstones as opposed to on the line, but we'll see if we can absorb what we can. So I'm going to skip back and make a note of what he did on this turn here, because this is the one where I've been convinced we don't have to brake, but it might actually be faster if you do brake, just to get your arse around the corner. Yeah, but yeah, you see, you just see little brake he applied there, didn't just feathered it just to get his car around a little bit quicker. So pretty much broken up on the marker there, drop down to 1, trail brake through. A signature move really. Now taking that line really wide meant so you could go through throttle, a full throttle for that bit. Now did he brake? when he approached this long sweeping turn. So he went through here full throttle. Yeah, little half brake until he gets round. Again, taking this pretty much the same way that we've been doing it, but you can be really generous on those curbstones. So we've got to bear that in mind. So he gets through that. Did he get through that for full throttle at the end there? So watch. Full throttle from here. So he can get through there full throttle, so we've got to give that a go as well. So you can see there's loads of places there where we can shave a bit of time. So let's see what we can do. And see if we can improve our 149 with some things we learned on there. Again, we're not going to try and do all those things that we saw. But if we can incorporate a few of them, then in theory we should grind down, and then we'll try and incorporate a few more. So he did actually. I instantly forgot that you got to go through there at full throttle, but there you go. You can see that's my previous ghost car. This definitely isn't going to be a good lap because we broke on our normal braking point there. And remember, he went down to 2. We've got a better line through that one. Definitely on the exit speed anyway, so let's see if we can hit the curbstones, like I said. Definitely take that better if I actually brake my normal way, but... So, we forgot something there, which when we watched the lap, he actually did apply a little bit of braking, just to kick his car around, which we didn't do there. Get ourselves around the track now and have another go on the next lap. Remember, we've been really generous on these curbstones. And remember, he got through here full throttle, so we're going to give it a go as well, see if we can get through. And you can. It's a bit of bravery sometimes makes a world of difference. So it gives us a much faster speed through here. That we're already almost 2 tenths ahead before we've even... And I've just done my normal braking line through there, because we are actually going at a faster speed now. And we're kicked out there. Can I salvage it? No, we've already lost the lap. And we're spun out again. Pushing too hard. And let's restart. So it's going to be a race at in about 10 minutes. So we're going to have one race and see how we get on. And if I'm not feeling it, we might go back to Monza for our SR grind. But we need to start getting on the SR grind. So we're going to set one more lap. And see if we can break our 149.6. Which is still quite a way off the top lap times, you think. Still about 5 seconds behind. So we're still losing a bunch of time somewhere. So we're going to try it with a little bit of braking like he did before. Oh no! Keep it together. There we go. We're alright. We're not doing very well here. We're kind of losing a few of the things we were doing actually pretty well before. And that was... This is not going well. Doesn't bode well to go into a race like this. But like I said, I do need to get into a race, or else we're just going to spend this whole night in practice. And like I said, I need... The basic idea is to do this to get the SR up. So if I'm not doing that, then... So let's give one more lap a go. I mean, we'll have time to enter, do a couple of laps just before the race anyway. And we are all over the shop here. Doesn't bode well for what's going to happen. We've got to be careful on these curbstones, especially the ones that kick us up, put us up on off balance, really do make a difference. So we did get through that one there. On full acceleration. And with these curbstones we can be quite generous if I can get them on them. Whereas we spun out twice now on that bit. Twice in a row. This is not looking good, guys. So maybe Monza is the answer. Just so we know what we're doing. But let's give at least one go on this track. So we are going to enter with the Audi. So currently, let me just check it. What the safety rating is exactly at the moment, because you can't actually... You've got to go to a website to tell. Let me get that up and have a quick look. And so our sportsmanship rating is on a 51. So we really need to grind that up to above 80 is what the S class is in. So we've got 30 points we need to climb. So outside of anything in this race, safety. Not hitting people, just doing laps so we can get used to the track a bit better, because quite honestly I need to get used to this track for when it comes up on the FAI season, which I'm sure it is in there at least once or twice. So at some point we're going to have to conquer this track properly. And normally the practice process is something that takes me hours and hours, and like I said, I need to start grinding the SR. So as much as I wanted to do this track, I'm going to do it once because we've invested some time in it, but like I said, if it doesn't fare too well, then we end up doing more harm than good. We're going back to Monza, and I'm doing the most cautious Monza racing you've ever seen in your life. So we'll should see matching starting in about 3 minutes. So I'm just gonna see if we can put in a quick lap beforehand. Probably might not have enough time, but The thing I like about this race in comparison to Monza at the minute, for some reason this week they set Monza to be a grid start race, which, why would you do that at Monza? I have no idea. They're obviously trolling. So let's just check the car settings. Traction control 0. Brake balance, I'm going to still keep it at 0. But I'm sure there's a better setting than that to go on. So if we can get through the chicane before 1 minute 50 on that timer at the top, then we should be able to at least have another go at setting a time. So let's try and set one more time. We've got enough time, we've got 1 minute 58 and it takes about 150 to set a lap, so let's see if we can squeeze one in for the race. Again, we can brake late here, so we're going to brake a little bit later and turn into that, maybe turned in a little early. Again, we've got to remember to come down as a second gear on this one, and let's just drift through until we see our first orange marker, which we've seen, and go full acceleration from there, which should drift us really wide, which is what we want. The further we're drifting wide, the closer we know we're at to our correct acceleration point. So let's see if this is our correct acceleration point. See again there, coming out slightly wide. If you know you're doing that, then you know you're roughly hitting your right accelerating point as we drift a little wide there. And come a little late on that brake. Again, should be dropping down to second gear on that one. See if we can do this with a little bit of braking like we wanted to last time. And that is much better. Let's see if we can brake, and get down to first to get as the best turning we can. Didn't quite hit the apex. Again, let's try and hit this turn full throttle, which we have. Have to come down a little bit here, get a better turning circle. Let's miss the gears there. Come a little wide on that. Really untidy for this last section, but it's actually not a bad lap this. And we can get through there flat out. And have we beaten our best time? Slightly. So we set a better time there. Only by 1/10 of a second, but that is totally a-okay by me, as we now get pulled into our race. So let's see what sort of carnage we're in for here. Now we're down in with the pond life in in the B safety ratings. So we've got 11th on the grid with our 149.5. You can see we've got a mixture of, we've got an S rated driver in here for some reason, probably because he got a smash on his safety rating. So quite honestly, like I said, I am not aiming to win this race. I am not aiming to even come higher than 11th. I'm aiming to not hit anybody, and that's it. Because we need clean races, and we need a lot of them. So we're going to do this one, and then we're going to probably switch over to Monza. I think it's probably the more sensible idea. I mean, depending on how this goes. But I'm definitely got a much better qualifying time, so at least we might be able to see a combination of racing and clean driving. Until we have the fear of the dreaded turn 1 of Monza. So all the way back in the grid in 11th. Got a nice, so hopefully we might be able to find someone to race against who's in our pace. You can see if we wanted to be at the top here, we need to be running underneath 148 is the aim. Perhaps if I come back to this daily race myself later in the week, 148 is the aim, is to grind that down. Once you're doing that, then at the class I'm racing in, I'm going to be in at least the top 5, hopefully. So let's see how we get on. I'll get the old wheel cam on. I'm just going to try and sort out the focus if I can. That's probably made it blurrier. There, that's a bit better in terms of focus, isn't it? It's a bit blurry. So here we go. 11th on the grid. Not a great place to start from, but you know what? Let's get our radar on so we can see who's around us. Which I know you guys can't see because of the wheel, but I've just put it on the bottom right of my screen. So where are we going to start? Hopefully not in this chicane. And we're off. So we're just going to try and get in a slipstream. Going to brake on our normal line so we don't do anything too stupid going into our first corner. Almost did something stupid straight away. So we're sitting quite nicely here. Nothing really too much going on at the moment, as number 10 comes wildly off track and we can pip a position there. He hit me, but I didn't hit him. As these guys take a terrible line through here, so I'm going to try and take advantage if I can. So another spin out there. And see if we can get the braking on this side. We're just going to touch it. We're not going to really do anything too drastic. Just make sure we can get nicely up through here and power through. So we've got someone about half a second behind us. Someone with a massive penalty there, so we can pip another position. Didn't do that corner too well, but let's see if we can get this one right for a change, which we've got wrong so many times in our practice. Remember, we can be really generous with the curbstones here. No, 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 no. We almost spun out and lost ourselves, so we're probably going to lose a position here. And we kept the position, but I think we might have made contact on our back left there. But we might get a bump coming up through here. Someone's in our slipstream. Oh, that guy just knocked me. And I get a knock on my safety rating. For God's sake. This game. So we're just trying to keep it together as someone else is coming up on front. So it looks like we've got a decent pace on this, if we can just keep our stuff together. And we've got Porsche 911, I think, right behind us. And we got awful there. Something happened and we have come off awfully. But I'm, like I said, more bothered about the safety rating. So a bit annoying to come off because I thought we were running a decent race there. Worked ourselves all the way back from 11th, and now we're back there. But like I said, more interested about the safety rating, which we have impacted a little bit, but not enough. And again, I'm just not paying attention here at all. Okay, let's see if we can get ahead on as we come into our last two laps. 13th, looking on our inside here. Quite a distance for him to do that, but almost lost it there, but we kept it together. And we've got a guy on 1 second penalty, so we might be able to pip a place from him when he has to serve that. Don't actually know where the penalty marker is on this one, so we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. And he's come off the track, so that's quite a nightmare for him. He's going to have no speed, and he's going to have his penalty in just a mo anyway. But we actually get past him before he has to serve it anyway. I think I got hit from the back there, but again, he didn't get any penalty on top of that. And we've got a yellow flag in front of us from someone who's obviously come off. Oh, what? That is a bit unfair. Oh, come off it, this game. For God's sake. He was ghosted. Oh, that's going to drop. So, we're already on our first race. Because of that one incident, that's going to make our safety rating drop. The whole race has been written off. Because a guy who was ghosted, magically unghosted just before I was about to go past him. And this has really been a terrible day. So I'm actually not looking for the overtake here. I'm just making sure that I don't hit him. I just want to finish this race. Oh, this is what I mean. Is sometimes it can get so annoying. But not happy with the outcome of this race, quite honestly. And again, that penalty just, ugh. Right, someone doing a bit of Tokyo Drift in there. Oh, you know what? This game. Oh my god. I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, people can smash into me all they want though. Can't they? The moment I make a slight bit of contact with somebody, it's bloody penalty over here for... See, push me off the track there as well. And this has just been no fun at all as we come dead last with two penalties that have come from colliding with people, which arguably, like I said, I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels really soft. So that's going to have an impact on our safety rating. That's going to dip. Again, I feel a little bit cheated on that one, just because, again, 2 penalties, a dip on the safety rating on just such minor injury. And I've had people smash into me and have no penalties. So now we've dropped down to C class on safety, which is worse. Oh my god. Right, literally all we're doing now, guys, is we're just racing and we're just not going near anybody. So we're going to do the same race again. We're going to get used to it. But we're not even going to try. We're going to come last. I don't even care. I'm just going to sit at the back of the race and run a clean race with no one near me. Because, honestly, I don't think I can handle it. It really stresses me out. I just want to have clean races, and said the penalty system sometimes on this game is just awful. Yeah. Ow. Cheers for coming in, man. Yeah, you've caught me at a low moment, mate. We're here to try and build on the safety rating, and we've ended up making it worse. And some of these crashes, I mean, I'm just looking back through the race now, just rewinding back. Some of these crashes are so soft. So yeah, not best pleased, if I'm honest. I'm all good with, like, when I spin out and, you know, I mess up on a race and stuff. It's just when that penalty system punishes you when you're racing there. That was it. So the main reason we got a penalty was because someone went off track as a ghost, come back onto the track, still ghosted. I was just about to phase through him, and then he sort of unghosted, and I smashed into him. So, yay. But no, I've got some serious grinding to get back up to S class down there. I'm on C class for sportsmanship. My sportsmanship's gone down to 30. I lost 20 sportsmanship points in that race. 20. I've dropped down to 31 out of 99 in my sportsmanship rating. We started the night on 51, had one race, 2 little knocks, which, like I said, one of them was someone coming back on the track and then ghosting back in, which I couldn't do anything about at all. And the second one, yeah, maybe I can put a bit more blame on myself for that one. Like, you know, I clipped someone a little bit on the back and it pushed them a tiny bit off track, but they didn't lose position. I didn't go past them due to it, and it just feels, again, slightly harsh. But man, we have got a lot of work to get this safety rating up. And literally, like I said, I am just going to race at the back of the pack and be damned on my driver rating. My driver rating can go out the window as far as I can see, and we can repair the driver rating afterwards, but we need to get that safety rating up. You know, the irony is our driver rating's never been higher. Our driver rating's on 8,290, and the highest before we've ever achieved is 7,900, so our driving rating's fine. But yeah, pretty disheartening. But like I said, let's go into another race. And literally on this one, like I said, we're not going to try and get past people. We're not going to try and do anything great. We're literally just going to try and hold position and just, you know, race without making a single collision with anybody. And if someone's coming back on the track because they're ghosted, we're going to dodge them. Don't care if they're a ghost or not. I'm staying out of the way. But yeah, that was genuinely awful. I've got so much work to do to get this safety rating up. Problem is, I need to practice for the race on Wednesday as well, but I'm going to be spending so much time trying to boost the safety rating that I don't know if I'm going to have time to practice. And it's in a GT2 cars, which I've never raced in Group 2 cars before, which I'm, you know, the fastest race that I would have run. Let's see what we can do to grind down this lap. Anyway, we've got enough time to put in possibly 2 laps. So let's see what we can do. At least whilst we've got the freedom to push ourselves around the track a little bit to have a bit of fun. But yeah, I am definitely not having fun. That does feel really tight every time you do that, but it is what you're supposed to do, apparently. According to the man on the video. Okay, we should be dropping down to 2 on this one. We know that. Took that turn quite nicely there. Quite happy with that one. Let's see what kind of lap that is. A 148.3, look at that. In the zone. Quite honestly, I not really what I need, because I need to be a bit further down the pack so I can kind of just slip out the race and just work on the safety rating. But, you know, a 148.3, I'll take that. Pulled that out of nowhere. I didn't even think it was that a good of a lap, to be honest with you. We've got enough to do one more. Oh, turn that a little bit early. I don't know why I didn't go full throttle. I was a good two tenths ahead. Don't know why I didn't go full throttle through that at the end. I was having another good lap, but we've improved our lap time, which I didn't actually expect. I thought 149.5 was probably going to be the best I did, but 148.3, happy with that. Oh, thanks, Al, for the word and cover. Yeah, man, I just, like I said, it's not even about, like, doing a good race. I just need to not hit, like, not go near anybody. So the fact I've got a better qualifying time is probably not the best thing, but let's go into the race and let's see what happens. So even with that 148, you can see, it doesn't really help out at all. I actually qualified worse than last time in 12th. Like I said, I'm not too bothered. I'm more just interested in setting a good lap time and stuff. This has been an absolute disaster. Yeah, we'll just try and run a neat race. Not worry about where we are in the race. But now we're down with the C class safety races, so God knows what this is going to be like. I desperately need to get out of this class before and back up to S class before Wednesday. A lot of work to do. But like I said, let's not worry about where we are in terms of positioning. Everyone, let's just get some clean races in. So you can get a clean race bonus, which gives you a massive boost to your safety rating, and if we can string a few of them together, then we're laughing. It should shoot back up. So I'm even moderately tempted just to let everyone go past me. But I don't think I'll do that. I'll at least try and hold the position I've got. And if, like, even just before, if someone's going to make it really easy for me to pass them, I'll go past them. So we're probably going to be in the chicane as we start this race. It's probably a bit of an awkward place to start from, but I'm grateful for a rolling start. Like I said, the one at Monza where it's not a rolling start is at times like heartbreaking. So we're probably going to be starting coming out of this chicane. Should we do some Tokyo drifting there already? So let's brake nice and early here, so we don't run any risk of hitting anybody. I'm not doing anything risky here, just although I had to counter steer a little bit there to fight some kick out that I had from the other car. So we now take a horrible line through there. We're probably going to have to concede the inside. I'm not going to try and crash into him. I'm going to let him have that position. Like I said, safety rating conscious. We're not bothered about where we come in the race. We just want to make sure we run a race and let people do what they want to do. And normally I'd be a lot more defensive, and we'll just wait and let people come off the track themselves, and we'll pick up positions when they do that. We'll just run a neat race. That's all we care about. So we do have another one just behind us. We're a little bit heavy on the brakes there. And number 13 runs wide, but we could have pressed and tried to get in there, but like I said, we're more interested in just running. Have to come off the accelerator a little bit or else we're going to come wide, so had to do that there. So we don't care about our driver rating at all, we're just making sure we don't crash into people. Going to do a nice safe brake in here. Maybe a little bit too safe there, but never mind. I'm trying to avoid hitting someone who might accidentally ghost again, so just get ourselves up through here without any bother. Got a lot of penalties going on in front of us, so might be able to pick up a position or two, but got to be again aware people are ghosting are back in. And I missed my braking. I was more interested in trying to dodge him. Missed the braking completely, but at the same time didn't have an impact on our safety rating. Again, doesn't matter how crap you do, as long as you don't hit anybody, then and in theory we should be able to, like, you know, we're not turning up any, you know, we've dropped one position from where we started. We're not exactly doing our best racing ever, but as I said, this has really got a purpose to it, this style of racing, which is just as number 12 shape comes off, and we've at least claimed our qualifying position. And number 11 spun off here. Good gap behind us now. Decent gap in front, so we can just see out this race and not do anything really stupid. Just making sure that we're not going to spin out. As he grabs himself a half-second penalty there. He's got about a 2-second gap on me, so not enough for me to really have an impact on him. We took that pretty poorly anyway. Might drift a bit wide there. No, we're going to have to keep that in. And we took this turn a bit awfully, but again, as long as we're in the track and not hitting any people, we are only doing positives for our safety rating. So we missed the apex there, but it doesn't impact our ability to... I had to come off the throttle just a tiny bit just to make sure. You can tell, look at our times here that we're setting, you can tell we're really not pushing. I think if I really tried to push on this guy, I probably might be able to attack him, but like I said, not interested. Safety rating, safety rating, safety rating. So sort of what I've got to keep saying in my head is that I know what I'm here for, you know. Not the neatest I've ever done through there. Lost a bit of time, but again, like I said, not too bothered. Just want to see this out. So we've got someone here who might go after us, so we're just going to skip past him there. I think he might have just been quitting anyway, so at least that's another position for us to claim. And now we come through to finish the race. So hopefully a positive impact on the safety rating. Hopefully. We'll check it after this. Remember, we're at 31. I keep saying safety rating, is actually sportsmanship rating, but we've got no penalties for that, either through track or even through hitting, so hopefully we can get the clean star badge, but maybe not. I don't know if clean is including track limits and stuff, so we'll see if we got the star for it. We did not. Don't know what the prerequisite is for a completely clean race. I have no idea. But we'll wait for the next race in about 7-8 minutes, and we'll just keep hitting it until we're doing positives on the safety rating. So you can see you've gone back up into the B. So we've already made a little bit of progress. So sportsmanship rating is now 40. So we're still down on the night when we started on 51, but positive. And the performance, the DR hasn't actually been affected. Me staying in about 11th or 10th barely drops it. It's dropped a bit, but not much. I'm on 7,994, whereas before I was on like 8,000, so really not that bad. So let's get ourselves entered into the next race anyway. And just keep hammering away at this. Like I said, we're not too concerned about... So the next race at Monza is in about 16 minutes, so... We'll carry on this one just purely because it's sooner. Only reason. And let's see where we drop it in this time. It's getting a bit warm in here now. But yeah, like I said, we're not thinking about climbing positions here. We're only thinking about a safety rating to keep boosting that up over and over. But yeah, today's been an absolute disaster from a safety rating point of view. The first race seemed really, like I said, that first race seemed really harsh. The way it punished, how much it dropped my rating, really did. Still a bit bitter about it, if I'm honest, guys. Still a bit bitter, but it is what it is. So, having a little bit of a rest. How long does it take to repair the rating? It's a bloody good... Well, that race we just did there, we just did a clean race, but we didn't get a clean race star because we ran off the track a couple of times, but we didn't hit anybody. That raised it by about 10 points-ish. So, yeah, I assume... Maybe one of the longer races, there's a race C is a longer race, like a 20-lap race. Maybe I might have a few stabs at that tomorrow. I'm not even going to practice it, just literally enter it, go into last place, and just sit at the back and see if perhaps longer races have a bigger impact on your safety racing, because you're obviously being safer for a longer period of time. I might try that tomorrow. I might even do that on my control pad downstairs, sit in last place and just, you know, because the safety rating is the most important thing. Like if I tried racing earlier, and you'll see the video tomorrow come out for it when I tried racing against people who are B and C class a safety. You can't race properly. Anytime you try and take a corner properly, someone's going to smash into your side or something. It's no fun. It's all fun when you're playing on like Forza Horizon or something, when it's all, you know, built to be that, but you take a hit on this game and you're out of the race, you know. We've got a race starting in about 5 minutes. So like I said, I would just keep racing and racing and racing, but you can burn out quite easily. Well, I can anyway, so I try to have a bit of a break in between each race. When it gets a bit closer, do a bit of a warm-up lap. We're about a minute or two away. So we'll do that again. Let's see where this 148.3 puts us on the grid this time, or if we can improve it. I don't, like I said, I was close to improve. It seemed like last lap of the warm-up just before we start the race, I seemed to get pretty close to it, but so let's give this another go. But this is really good to get used to this track. Like I said, it's going to be turning up on the nations, all the manufacturers, or possibly both at some point. So it makes sense to get familiar with it even now. So it means that when I come to practice for that, I don't have to familiarise myself with the track and the car, just the car. But I can't imagine my Aston Martin being very good on this track. I said it's a bit of a power. I said in the videos, it's a bit of a powerhouse, and that's not always a good thing. Like I said, I'm happy I went with Aston, but I chose the wrong car with Aston. You've got a choice of 2 cars when it comes to the GT3, and I chose the wrong one. But, you know, you just got to... The choice has been made now, and I've got to erase it as it comes and do the best I can. Oh my god. I totally meant that. So 149 flat there. Got enough time for another lap, so let's see if we can set another lap in there. Really late on the brakes on that one. Pushing too hard to catch up with my ghost and end up effectively ruining the lap. But, you know, got to be really careful on that one not to hit that curbstone, really. Got a track limit penalty there. Let's see if we can get a clean race on our next go. Again, just avoid any unnecessary incidents. We'll overtake people who come off the track, but we're not going to look to really attack anybody unless they are gaping open, you know. And if people are going to attack us, we're going to just concede the position, not try and defend it or anything like that, which it seems like a weird thing to do. It's going to feel weird. It does feel weird. Like it felt weird when I was doing it in the last race, you know, to not try and defend your position and not try and attack things, but it's all a matter of priority. So 152.5, not a great one there, so we'll bring it to stop as the matching just about to start, and let's see how we get drawn up in terms of qualifying. So we're pulled in now. Let's see what happens. So this time we're a bit higher up on the grid. We're on sixth on the grid. So a lot more people behind us. Not always a good thing. The pace of people though seems to be really tailing off towards the end. We've got some unknowns at the back. Be interesting to see what happens with them. See if they work their way through the grid or what. Let's just see how we get on. Starting in 6th. Like I said, don't care where we finish. We could finish dead last before I give a toffee. As long as we do it, as long as we come last cleanly. But yeah, so say our sportsman rating's currently at 40. I know goes up to A at 65, I think. So we've still got a ways to go. I agree, whoever that was, let's have a clean race indeed. Let's keep this nice as we just about to get started. And let's see if we can claw our way out from this mess that we've got ourselves into. So this time we're not going to be in a chicane or anything like that as we start off. We're a bit further up the grid, so it might be a bit nicer for us in terms of start. as we get off to our rolling start. Put the wheel on for you guys, eh? As everyone's trying to sit in each other's slipstream and trying to dodge it at the same time. We're going to brake nice and early here, so we avoid any unnecessary crashes. So we're going to brake here. Went geared down a little bit too low, and that was quite disgusting. If anyone saw that, of that other guy, more interested in knocking that guy off than actually trying to race him. I'm not going to complain because it allows us to move up the field a little bit, and let's just see if we can just run a nice clean race. A little bit slow through there, over braking a little bit. Got a guy with a massive penalty behind us, so providing he doesn't try and hit us off before we get there. A little slow through there. Now we've got a guy serving a penalty behind us. So we've got a relatively decent gap between us and fourth now, so let's just see if we can build upon that as we forget to go full throttle through that again. So we might lose a little bit of time off this straight. It looks like a few penalties building up behind us. 1 second bit gap behind. We're going to try and hit our ideal braking line here. We run a little wide on that one. I broke really early. Oh, well, I broke on the marker, which I've been trying not to do on that one. This one we do need to brake on the marker to make this turn. A little bit of trail braking so we're not going too slow like we did last lap. We've still got a nice, just under 2 second lead on the guys behind. And we're more interested in the guys behind than we are in the guys front, let's be honest. Like I said, when it comes to this kind of safety racing, conscious driving, then we took that much nicer that time. Actually got some acceleration out the turn. Right, to get this cone and then accelerate out from this cone. Oh, almost spun out there, so we just had to come off a little bit just to make sure we didn't overdo it there. And not hit this apex perfectly, but we've really given 5th place a chance to catch up now, as they've pulled that gap back. Didn't realise how much they had. We actually ran a decent lap there, 149 points, so we've definitely got someone behind us with a bit of pace. So again, if they're really going to attack, we are going to concede the position. Like I said, I'm more bothered about getting this safety rated right, as we missed the braking there completely, so we're already going to have to concede this position. And you see there, I could have, and I'll let this one pass as well. We've got people dangerously close to me there, as we lost a lot of positions there. 3 positions we conceded, but like I said, if I was driving normally, probably would have been a little bit more a defensive once I made the mistake, but we only care about the safety rating, like I said. And we're taking some of these turns really awfully, so we deserve to be back here, quite honestly. be aware of this guy with a little bit of a penalty. He might ghost in just as we're coming past him, so we've just got to be aware that if he's going for the super blocking, then we just got to be really, really far away from him. We've got the exit speed on this guy. Do we go for it? Yeah, screw it, eh? Dropped really slow there. Don't know why I went so slow. Again, probably just being aware of not doing anything stupid. So there's a bit of danger going on behind us. Someone must have just slid out. He might have us on this turn here. No, we got a much better line through that, but he's still right on us. Oh no, he caught himself on coming off the edge, and now he's lost his positioning, so we should be able to hold 6th. Again, if I pushed, I probably might have been able to take 5th, but so I'm not willing to do it. I just want to get clean races in, and that's not necessarily clean, but it will do. Should we drift ourselves around there and come round to the finish now for what I assume is, again, let's see if we get a clean badge. Yeah, a couple of close calls there, but again, I could have really tried to hold 3rd or 4th, but I'm not willing to put the sportsmanship rating on the line for it, as we confirm a 6th place finish, which isn't bad actually, because the way we're driving and stuff. And again, no penalties incurred, so let's just so got the next race at 10:02. We're going to do that one, and then I'm probably going to have to call it a night. So we've only managed to get 4 races out, but let's see what impact we've had on the safety rating. As you can see, if your safety rating in blue means you've had an increase, so we've had an increase. So we're CB still. Let's leave the room and let's have a look. So before we're on 40 points for our safety rating, and now we're on 47. So we're going up a little bit each one. Almost managed to claw back everything we lost. Again, we're just going to enter the same race again. With the same car. That should be starting again in another 5 minutes. So yeah, 7 minutes until the next race starts. So again, we'll do a couple of warm-up laps just beforehand, but have a bit of a rest before. You know what, I'm going to disappear for a drink. A bit rude of me, but I'm thirsty. Screw you guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this the last race of the stream. As much as I really want to keep grinding, I'm going to have to grind maybe tomorrow night or something in my own time, in lieu of practice. But I'm going to make a drink. I'll be back in a mo. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Needed a drink. What are we wanting to get the SR to? Well, ideally we need to get the SR to up to 80, which will get me back in that S class. But I was, up until last night, I was on a 99, which is the maximum you could be. So ideally I need to get back to there, really. We've got a long way to go. At the moment we're on 47. So let's see if we can at least get ourselves over 51, which was what we started the night on. And then we had that first race, which dropped us all the way down to 33. Like I said, it drops a lot faster than it climbs, which is one of those things. I mean, I like it because it encourages people to drive in a safe way, but the problem you've got is that no automated system can be completely correct. I mean, all the way every time. I mean, as you saw before, a couple of dubious things on that race where I dropped it, and as I said, I lost my S rating through a race earlier, which just bewildered me how I even got a penalty, let alone almost 40-point drop on my safety rating. We will do this one more race, like I said, on this stream, and we'll call it the end of the stream, and then I'll see what I can do between now and tomorrow and Wednesday to see if I can get us back into see if I can get myself back into S class prior to Wednesday. That's all I care about, really. Just get us back into the good bracket. So 2 minutes away now from starting up. I'm sorry. I have to disappear again. Oh, I'm back. Yeah, the penalties is hard, man. It's good because obviously it encourages people to drive in a race in a way that's safe, but it, like I said, when it is, I don't know if it's a false positive. In that race, the second one I hit was, yeah, I could sit there and understand, perhaps give me a wee penalty on that and knock a couple of points off, but it's not like I'm charging into corners, smashing people off every opportunities I got. Just wish the game was a bit better at reading it at times, but there you go. So don't actually have enough time to set a lap, so we're gonna just wait it out now until the start of the race, about a minute 20 out. And then, I said, don't care about where we place or where we come. We just care about not hitting into people and getting as much on the sportsmanship rating as we can. So, almost matching up now. And like I said, I'm going to probably have another swing at this tomorrow and really start grinding out some matches and some racing. Like I said, not trying to race anybody, just trying to get to the end of the lap, get to the end of the race without hitting anybody. Which in general I do anyway, but obviously there's going to be times where someone doesn't take do the right braking through a turn, and when you're racing with people with a mixture of experiences and a mixture of what they're doing, it's sometimes quite hard to judge what someone's going to do, especially when you just line up behind them, So we're 7th on the grid this time. Someone racing in my DB9 GT1, which is what we race in the FIA manufacturers. One that I regret and wish I was using the V12 Vantage, which the guy in 16th has, and the guy in 4th has actually. So at least in 7th we're starting on the straight again, we're not starting back in the chicane or anything like that, so makes it nice and easy for us to race a bit cleaner. Yeah, it is. It takes all the pressure off out. Like, if you try to race without racing, and weirdly enough, just like I was saying to you I tell you this on Forza anyway, that if you put in a clean race, you probably overtake a few people anyway, because people always come off. People always, spin out and miss their brake zones and do loads of stupid mistakes, and you just make sure you're not one of those people. It's like half the battle sometimes. We've got a lot of work to do to get this safety rating up, but let's see if we can at least end the night in a better place than when we started. That was the whole intention of this, to grind, and we've actually just had to spend the whole night recovering after one race. It's got a mixture of B and C class races in here, DR wise. So again, let's just keep this nice, keep it neat. And make sure we end the stream on a positive note at least. Right. So off to a rolling start again. Right, let's be starting on this straight. So I don't really want to overtake here, but I'm going to sit on the inside just so again, if I was racing properly, I probably would have really pushed on him there and capitalised on him falling behind, but I'm not that bothered. Just going to sit pretty here and let people make the mistakes and capitalise on them when they do. And this guy's swerving away over the shop. Again, more interested in knocking people around than he is in actually trying to race, so we're going to stay well clear of that and just sit behind them. Someone takes a bad knock there, and again we're just not getting involved. Not going to try and push for these gaps that appear. Got a guy on the inside of us. I'm going to let him have that space. Don't think he knows what to do with it anyway. And we forgot to brake there, so didn't take the best line through that. And let's see if he swerves into me. And got hit on the back there, and there goes my clean race completely. I won't get penalised for it, but I'm going to let these guys go past because I'm not that bothered. I hope that guy got a penalty for hitting into me like that, but no, in this game probably not. And we drift wide there. Not a great Not a great lap here, but like I said, we don't actually care about where we come. Just not making contact. And I think even if someone makes contact with you, that means you didn't have a clean race, which is annoying. So the clean race stars give a massive boost to your sportsmanship rating. So we're sitting in 12th. Again, we dropped a lot of positions, but I was quite happy to concede them and just not try and muscle my way back into the pack. Just let them do what they do, and I'll just focus on my sportsmanship rating. Be nice and boring. And we'll just try and set some nice times now. We've got a bit of a gap either side of us. And concentrating on what we do. So he's got himself a nice 4-second penalty there. And make that turn much better this time. As people are now serving their penalties for all that carnage from before. See a lot of people slowing down there. Covered the brake a little bit too much on that turn. Lost a bit of time, but nothing that's too worried about. As he misses that turn again, like he did on the last lap. So if we were racing properly and looking for attack, that's something I would possibly look at if I was still behind him coming into the next lap. Sit behind him to try and distract him around about that course at that time of the lap by sitting on his inside and make it look like I'm going for attack when I'm not, you know. I'll cut a corner a little bit, might get a track penalty there. Number 10's run off there. And we've got another 4-second penalty from our friends who like to beat each other up all the time. And we've got another guy sliding off and a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know if I want to get anywhere near this at all. These two wrestle each other. Almost end up with a penalty ourselves there. People are more interested in smashing into each other than actually trying to play the game, which I have no reason why. Oh, we completely misjudged that turn there. And we got smashed there just for the hell of it. And that guy didn't even get a penalty. See, the penalty system can be really, really confusing on this. Like, hitting me with some force there and no penalty whatsoever. Almost messed up there. Some dirty buggers going on behind us, so we'll try and stay clear of that if we can. As we come around now to the final straight. Almost went off there, but managed to bring it in for 8th. So not a fantastic race, but again, a few bumps and scrapes we took, but didn't dish any out. Yeah, the clicks. I do like you get these like wheel paddles at the back of the steering wheel. Really, really nice to be able to change gear with. Got the gear stick as well, which I've used, but it's nowhere near as easy to use as the paddles. Imagine the gear stick's pretty good for like rally driving and stuff, where you got to really hop between your gears, you know, quickly jump from 5 to 2 kind of thing. And there we go. So another positive on the safety rating. So let's have a look and see what that does to the safety rating. So our safety rating is now 52. So technically, it's better than when we started. We've raised it by 1 point from when I started. It's not the most exciting races, I have to admit. Like I said, I really wasn't trying to push. I was just trying to stay clean and just keep as clean as possible. And I'm going to have to keep doing that tomorrow. So I'm going to have a bit of a day of it tomorrow, just grinding that back up slowly. So I can, again, perform, race with the people who at least, not completely clean, but at least they try and drive clean. It's, rather than you get what you saw there, people purposely trying to swipe each other off the course and stuff. Because egos. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the stream for today. Thanks for dropping in. It's been a bit of a... I didn't like it, yeah. It's a bit of a grind. And I didn't like the title because I am in a bit. But a repair job didn't really go that way. Oh, cheers, man. As long as you enjoyed it. That's it. That's it. But yeah, I'm going to shoot. I'll see you guys soon. I'll catch you soon. Cheers for dropping in, guys. In a bit.